I will start again. This lesson is 11.2 arithmetic sequence. Before starting, you have to know what does mean sequence. If I say 2, 4, 6, 8, and so, these 3 points means I go forever. If you notice here these numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, those are called sequence. If you concentrate, you will find me add 2 each time. Add 2, 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 2, 6. 6 plus 2, 8. And so if you would like to find the next term, add 2. Okay? Because each time I add, it's called arithmetic sequence. It's called arithmetic sequence. Look at the next one. -1, -3, -5, -7. Each time I don't add, I subtract. I subtract 2. So if you add or subtract, it's called arithmetic sequence. Again, if you add and subtract, it's called arithmetic sequence. Mister, one of you may ask, Mister, if we multiply, if I say I will not add, I will multiply, like that one. If I start 2, 10. Here I multiply by 5. Multiply by 5. 50. Multiply by 5. 250, and so. Here each time I multiply, I don't add. What is the name of that? It's called also sequence, but I will call it geometric sequence. Geometric sequence. So if you multiply, it's called a geometric sequence. One of you may ask, Mister, if I divide, if I say, for example, 200, I will divide by 5. What will I have when you divide 200 divide 5? You will have 40. Divide 5. I will have 8. And so, divide 5. You'll have number in fraction, whatever, okay? Here also, if you multiply or divide, it's called geometric sequence. This is the difference between the word or the name of arithmetic sequence, means each time I add or subtract. Geometric sequence, each time I multiply or divide, okay? We'll study those this week and the next week. Arithmetic sequence and geometric sequence. What gonna we study today? Arithmetic sequence. Okay, we'll study that today. All right, come to concentrate on arithmetic sequence. If I say, as I said before, 5, 10, 15, 20, and so, who can tell me what's the name of that sequence? Is it arithmetic or geometric? It's arithmetic because it's clear, Mister. Each time you add 5. Each time you add 5. Each time you add 5. So it's called arithmetic sequence. By the way, each number here is called term. Each number is called term. That 5 is called first term. That 10 is called the second, the third, the fourth, and so till the last term. If we make last term, I will call last term n, because I don't know it, so I will call it n. What's n? N here is number of the number of term. N here, number of term. So we can say, instead of writing first term, I will call it A1. A1 means term number 1. Second term, I will call it A2. Third term, I will call it A3. The fourth term, I will call it A4. And so, till the last term, I will call it AN. Okay? Now we taught what does mean A1. A1 means the first term in your sequence. A2, the second term. A3, the third term. And so, AN is the last term. Here, as I said, the first term, we will call it A1. The second term, we'll call it A2. The third term, A3. and so. The last term I will call it an because I don't know its number. Right. So we told the first term a1, it's arithmetic because each time I add 5. Each time I add 5, is right? Each time I add 5. That 5, the number I add each time, or in another question, the number I subtract, is called the difference. I will call it difference or common difference. Yeah, Mr. Will I write common difference each time? No, we call that difference, we call it D. We call it D. We call it D. So the first term, I call it A1. The last term, I call it AN. The number I add or subtract is called common difference. We use symbol D. So till now, we taught 3 symbols. A1, the first term. AN, the last term. D, the common difference or difference. Okay? Till now, do you have a question? Difference. The difference between that term, that 10 and 5. What's the difference between 10 and 5? 5. If you subtract these two terms, 5 and 10, you'll have 5. Look. So because we subtract each time to know the number we use, it's called difference. Okay? Just name. Right. If I give you a sequence like that, concentrate with me, all of you. If I say, for example, 4, 8, 12, and so. If you concentrate here, A1 here. What's A1? Who can tell me? What's the value of A1? Huh? 4. It's clear. This is A1. 4. What is the common difference? The common difference. How can I know the common difference? Don't put in your mind, check a master here 4 became 8. I will add. No. To find the common difference quickly, subtract any term from the previous term. To know the common difference, subtract each term from the previous term. I will say 8 minus 4, 4. 12 minus 2, 8, 4. Every time you will have 4. So the common difference here is 4. Now we know the first term, A1, the difference, A4. What is the question, mister? If I ask you, what is the last term? Yeah, if I say here, find A20. What does mean A20? Huh? What does mean A20? Do you know? The term number 20. A1 means the first term. A2, the second term. A3, yeah, this A1. That number 4, A1. This A2. This A3. I want you to continue till A20. Mister, it's very hard. How will I keep, if I ask you A20, A200, whatever? So here we will have a problem because I will not be able to add each time. It's very hard. So we need a rule helps you to find any term you like. What is that rule? It says, look, concentrate all of you, please. AN equals A1 plus N minus 1 times D. That rule, it's very, very important. It's called nth term. What does mean nth term? Nth, the number of term. Here you can find, by using that rule, you can find the value of any term. Come to apply that to find A20. To know the importance of that rule, I will find A20. Look, A20 equals. I will apply that rule. What's A1? Look, instead of N, I wrote 20 because I need 20. What's A1? A1 is 4. So I will cancel A1 and write 4. Plus, what's N? This is N. That number is N. The number I need to find. So I will write 20 minus 1 times D. What's the difference? The difference is 4. Calculate that. 20 minus 1 is 19. Who can tell me, how will I calculate this problem? Will I say 4 plus 19 first or 19 times 4 first? As we said before, BIM dash, you have multiply, then add. If you multiply 19 by 4, you have 76. I'm holding the calculator, by the way. 19 times 4 is 76. Then add 4. It will be 80. So if you keep writing, you will have 80 here. That is a 20. Now we know the importance of that nth term. You have to memorize it. I memorized, by the way. An equals A1, the first term, plus parentheses. N means the number you like to find, minus 1 times D. Okay? This is our nth term. It helps you to find the value of any term in that sequence or any sequence. But it's especially for arithmetic sequence, because in geometric sequence, inshallah, we'll know another formula. Till now, do you have a question to our lesson? I will make an example and ask you to find any term. For example, 3. Or I make it 100. Sorry, 100. 80. 60. And so. How will I know is the arithmetic sequence or geometric sequence? Subtract each term from the previous term. Subtract that 80 from 100. Say 80 minus 100. 80 minus 100 will give you negative 20. Subtract 60 minus 80. 60 minus 80 gives you negative 20. Each time I have negative 20, so our difference or common difference equals negative 20. Common difference, Habiba, Basmara, sorry. Common difference, by the way, we call it D. So we have D equals negative 20. Keep that. The question says find for example, A40. To know the importance of that nth term, the formula we have just taught. Find A40. Who can remind me? Do you memorize the formula? Maybe you don't memorize it till now. I will write it. Look, write the formula. The formula says AN, it's very important, equals A1 plus N minus 1D. That formula is very important. I will apply that formula to find A40. Okay? AN, that N means the number of the term. So I will cancel that N and write 40. Each N I will cancel and write 40. So I will say A40, the term I asked about it, equals. What's A1? Who can tell me what's A1? A1 here is 100. So I will cancel that A1 and write 100. 100 plus N. N is the number you like to find, 40. So I will write 40 minus 1. What the difference? We have just wrote the difference, negative 20. So multiply negative 20. I will calculate that. Don't forget, 40 minus 1 is 39. Don't say 100 plus 39. Wrong. As multiply Mr. 39 by negative 20. I'm holding the calculator, by the way. Okay. Equals that number plus 100. So you will have number negative 680. This is the term number 40. If you keep writing 100, 80, 60, 40, 20, and so add number 40, at the term number 40, you will have negative 680. Okay? Till now, do you have a question? We taught how to find any term of the sequence. Okay. That is your book. is asking you, look at here, find the indicated term of each arithmetic sequence. Just a second. Yeah, come to start here. Number 1. A1 is 56. Here he is telling you what's the value of A1. D is the difference, common difference. N73, we need to find N73. N73 means the term number 73. So here I am giving you A1, the first term. The difference means the number comes if you subtract each term from the previous. Find N73. So I will say A73. Oh, I'm going to write the formula. N equals, you have to memorize it. A1 plus N minus 1D. Okay? A73 equals, what's A1? A1 is 56. So I write 56 plus N minus 1 means 73 minus 1. 73 minus 1 times D. What D? 13. If you calculate that, you will have his answer. So I will say 73 minus 1, 72. 72 times 13 first, and then add 56. You will have 992. Okay? Now we can find any term in arithmetic sequence. Right. The next part of our lesson, write an equation for nth term. Look. What does mean nth term? Nth term, that formula. That formula is called nth term. We call it nth because it gives you any term you like. Right. What do we have in that formula? A1 and D, difference. If you like to find nth term, you have to know what's the value of A1 and the difference. Look at number 3, 64. A1, you have to get out your information. A1 is 64. 78 minus 64. To find the difference, subtract each term from the previous term. It will be 14. Now I'm going to, just a second, A1 Mr. 64, D is 14. To find nth term, that nth term, I will substitute AN equals, and instead of A1, I will write 64 plus N minus 1. So keep N. He is not asking you to find the second term or 20th term. Nth term means the rule for any term. Okay? He just asks what is the rule for any term. This is the meaning of nth term. So I will write 64 plus N minus 1 times D. What's D? 14. Okay? Now we can say AN equals, I will calculate that, multiply 14 here and here. It will be 64 plus 14N minus 14. So AN equals, here I have two numbers, 64 and 14. So I will say 64 minus 14, you will have 50 plus 14N. That is nth term. If you like to find any term, you can substitute here. Okay? So if you see that 15 plus 14N, N equals, this is called nth term. Okay? Right. If you concentrate here in that nth term, do you notice anything? Look at that nth term. Do you notice anything here? Look at here and look at here. I want you to know the number multiplied by n, look, the number multiplied by n is our difference. Look. 14, 14, look. Look. 78 minus 64. We got 14. We have 14 beside multiplied by n. Look. You have to know to put that in your mind. The number written beside the value of n is your difference. Now if I ask you to find a 10, you will substitute instead of n, you will cancel n and write 10. So it will be 50 plus 14 times 10. 14 times 10 is 140. 140 plus 50, 190. Okay. يبقى till now we taught how to find any term of the sequence like A73. We taught how to find nth term. Okay. Right. By the way, we call it arithmetic sequence. That's right. Any sequence here is called arithmetic sequence. We have here find arithmetic means. What does mean arithmetic means? That is the first term. Any term in your arithmetic sequence between the first term and the last term, we call it arithmetic mean. We call it arithmetic mean. That is called arithmetic mean. That term also arithmetic mean. That term is called arithmetic mean. So if you see the word arithmetic means, don't be confused. Just is telling you that term, or that term. Any term of the sequence is called arithmetic mean. Any term between two terms, look, that term between the two terms is called arithmetic mean. Any term between two terms is called arithmetic mean. Type here, I'm going to find that term and that term and that term. Okay. Who can tell me what is A1? 17. A1, Mr. is 17. Look, I'm going to write it. A1. Just seconds. A1 is 17. Who can tell me what is the difference? Here, Mister, we don't have the next term here to subtract. If you like to find the difference, subtract. I don't have that term or that term. I don't have two consecutive terms. It's right here. This A1, this A2, A3, A4. This is A5, Mister. So we can use that A5 to get the value of D. Look, here we have a sequence 17 and we have last term 41. He is asking us to write the missing terms. The missing terms are called arithmetic means. Each term between two terms is called arithmetic mean. Okay, this arithmetic mean, that arithmetic mean, and so. A41, here the fifth term. Look, this is the fifth term. 1, 2, A3, A4, A5. This is 5. Okay, so A5 equals A1 plus N minus 1D. How I will erase that? A5 equals from the nth term. A1 plus N minus 1D. N here is 5. So I can cancel that N and write 5. So A5 will be A1 plus 4D. Is right? I told you to memorize to that. If you want to find any term, look at here, that number less than the number of term by 1. This 5, this must be 4. If this 10, this must be 9. So if I say I like to find A10 without writing this step, A10 equals A1 plus what will I write here? 9. 9D. Bravo. A15. Yalla. I will write A1 plus 14D. I want you to know that to save writing. Just come back to our question. We are going to find the value of D, because I don't know the value of D. A5 here is 41. I will substitute. A5 is 41. A1 here is 17 plus 4D. Solve that equation. You will know the value of D. How will I solve that equation? I will move that 17 to the other side. It will be 41 minus 17 equals 4D. 41 minus 17. When you subtract that, you will have 7 minus 11, 4. 3 minus 24 equals 4D. Divide by 4. I know you can solve that equation. So D equals 24 divided 4 is 6. Now we got D. If you know D, you can add 6. Look, add 6. It will be 23. Add 6. 23 plus 6, 29. Add 6. 29 plus 6, 35. Now we got arithmetic means. We complete the sequence. Okay?